Okay, you are welcome to Science Planet, and today we are looking at the 2023 NECO Biology Practical Specimen, possible questions and answers. So if you are writing NECO and you're writing biology, I think this is the right platform or channel for you. So let's go down. This year's NECO Biology Practical Specimens. So the specimen are specimen A, land snail; specimen B, toad; specimen C, spider; specimen D, crayfish; specimen E, Spirogyra filaments; specimen F, mucor; specimen G, groundnut seedling, a week old; specimen H, maize seedling, a week old; specimen I, microscope; specimen J, slide plane; specimen K, pigeon; specimen L, agama lizard; specimen M, rat; and specimen N, tilapia. So let's look at each specimen one after the other. So specimen A is land snail, and this is a picture of a snail. So this is how a snail looks like. Yeah, a land snail. Okay, so let's look at it in details. Let's look at specimen A in details. The habitat of specimen A, habitat. Okay, so the habitat of specimen A is what? Specimen A lives in shrublands, agricultural areas, plantations, garden, wetland, etc. The phylum is mollusca, and the class of specimen A is gastropoda. Okay. Now, observable features that adopt specimen A to its habitat are: one, you have the lungs. Lungs adopt to land habitat through the use of lungs that take in oxygen. You have number two, shell. The shell is for protection. And you have number three, tentacles, for vision and what? Feelings. Let's look at the economic importance of specimen A. Number one, they provide food for all sorts of mammals, birds, earthworm, etc. Number two, they cause great disaster to farmers. Number three, they consume rotting vegetations, leaves. So let's look at the mode of feeding of specimen A. So the mode of feeding of specimen A is by what? Scraping. And they mostly feed on leaf and insects. Let's look at the sex of specimen A. Hermaphrodite, bisexual, with bigger shell, are mainly female. So this is the label diagram of specimen A land snail. Remember, specimen A is a land snail. This is the label diagram. So you can look at that. Okay, now let's go to specimen B. Specimen B is toad. This is a diagram of a toad. Okay, habitat of specimen B: wet, moist, damp, land, under stone, damp grass, vegetation near freshwater ponds. Class of specimen B: amphibia, So specimen B belongs to the class Amphibia. Let's look at the observable features that it adopts. Okay, so observable feature that adopt toad specimen B to its habitat. 1. Poison gland for protection. 2. Warty skin for camouflage. 3. Web digits for hind limbs for swimming. Bulging eyes for good vision. Muscular forelimbs for absorbing shock. Long muscular hind limbs for jumping or hopping. Cryptic coloration for camouflage. Mud skin for cutaneous, that is respiration. Mud skin for respiration. Okay, let's look at the mode of feeding of a toad, that's specimen B. Is by tongue projection. Toad have a long, sticky tongue that they can rapidly project out of their mouth to catch prey. Let's look at the economic importance of specimen B. Predator-prey dynamics. Toad helps regulate population of insects and other invertebrates, playing a crucial role in balancing predator-prey. Okay, predator-prey relationship. So let's look at the nutrient cycling. Contribute to nutrient cycling through consumption and waste release. Let's look at the indicators of environmental health. Toads serve as indicator species, reflecting the overall health of ecosystems and signaling changes in water quality and habitat conditions. Let's look at the seed dispersal. Toads inadvertently aid in seed dispersal by consuming fruits of seeds and excreting them in different locations, facilitating plant colonization and genetic diversity. Prey for predators. Toads provide a food source for various predators, contributing to the energy flow and trophic interactions within ecosystems. Let's look at the genetic diversity. Toads contribute to overall genetic diversity in ecosystem, allowing for adaptation to change environmental conditions and promoting resilience. Okay, so here we have the diagram of specimen B, which is toad. So this is a labeled diagram. Okay, so you can see this very clearly. Labeled diagram. So this is a labeled diagram. Another diagram here for specimen B, which is toad. Okay, let's look at specimen C. We know that specimen C is what? Spider. So this is um, a diagram of a spider. Okay, let's go. So let's look at the habitat of specimen C. Forest, in bracket, temperate and tropical. Grasslands, deserts, wetlands, in bracket, marshes, swamps. Caves, mountain, shrublands. Let's look at the class of specimen C, Arachnida. So class Arachnida. Let's look at the observable features that enable specimen C adapt to its habitat. Number one, we have the leg structure, adapted for specific movements. We have the spinnerets, silk producing appendages for web bonfire buildings. 3. We have the cheliceria and the fangs, adapted for prey capture and venom injection. We have the body size and shape, varies based on habitat requirements. The eyes, adapted for visual capabilities and prey detection. Let's look at the mode of feeding of a spider. That's specimen C. Spider immobilize prey by biting and injecting venom or using silk to wrap it. Economic or biological importance of specimen C. Number one, spiders eat household pests. Number two, spiders are good for gardens. Number three, spiders kill off diseases carrying insects. Number four, spider venom can treat medical conditions. Number five, spiders are a food source for other animals. Number six, spiders are an essential part of the ecosystem. Let's look at the spider specimen diagram. So this is a diagram of a spider, a labeled diagram, so labeled diagram of a spider. Okay, let's look at specimen D. Specimen D is crayfish. So this is a diagram of a crayfish. All right, let's look at the habitat. Freshwater habitats, streams and rivers, lakes and ponds, etc. Class of specimen C, Arthropoda. So it's in the class Arthropoda. Let's look at the observable features that adopt specimen D to its habitat. Number one, claws and appendages. Large, powerful claws for defense and prey capture. Working legs with specialized structures for movement and stability. Number two, exoskeleton and body shape. Protective exoskeleton for defense. Compressed body shape for maneuverability in narrow spaces. Number three, antenna and sensory organs. Long antenna with chemoreceptors for dictating chemicals. Sensory setae for perceiving movements and vibrations. Number four, abdomen and tail. Uropause and swimmerets for swimming and stability. Tail fan and teloson for propulsion and protection. Let's look at the economic importance of specimen D. The economic importance of specimen D. Number one, it plays a key role in indicating water quality keystone control of tropic webs and bioindicators of community habitat. They are a good source of protein and are very beneficial for human health, widely eaten throughout the world. The food industry has been upgraded because of this crayfish, as it is in very demand for the purpose of health among the customers. Mode of feeding of crayfish. Let's look at the mode of feeding of crayfish. Crayfish use pincers to grab food and legs to guide it into their mouth. They employ calips to tear apart tough foods. Let's look at the food chain of crayfish. Food chain of crayfish. Algae and aquatic Plants herbivorous, invertebrates, then crayfish. Okay, the diagram of specimen D, which is crayfish. So this is a elaborate diagram of crayfish. Here you can see the antenna, pincers, working legs, eye, carapace, abdomen, swimmeret, tail, place.